Hi, this is Phil Hartman with PH Fabrication and Horton Race Cars. Just wanted to give you guys a weekly shop update. Hope everyone's doing well. So it's been a pretty busy week here at the shop between Jed, Jeremy, and myself. We've been making progress on the 55 Chevy Gasser. Also, Jed's been busy on the front engine dragster, which is in the far bay right now. And then Jeremy's been busy knocking out some of the production work we've got going on. Also today we got another car in. On this car we just got to change the pinion angle, but that'll take a little bit of time just because it's got the old rear end under it, and so a lot of the bracketry needs to be remade to change that pinion angle. But looking forward to getting started on that hopefully Monday or Tuesday. Now on the 55 Chevy Gasser, we've been able to get the hood mounted, the radiator mounted, and you can kind of see, if I stand back a little bit, that the hood is actually cut. Now a lot of people have asked why we cut the hood, and this was actually the customer's idea. He just said it made it easier for him to lift the hood off, which he is absolutely right. It definitely made it a lot easier to tilt the hood up with the sides cut. And all it does is take the curvature that the bottom part of the hood has that would normally come around to a hood pin, and it just keeps it attached to the car. So on the inside, we did some chromoly tube framework along with just an aluminum plate. Put a little 45-degree angle on it. That way when one person slides the hood down, it aligns itself, and then 2 Zeus's per side to keep the hood down. Now you can see the hood is self-supported without any chains. So we put all the, what we're gonna call the tree work, or the chromoly tubing into the hood just to give it some more support. And then you can see the hinges are bolted in, and then it's just got to stop. So it's got a positive stop. Now we are going to round the frame horns just so that way it gives it a rounded look when the hood is down. But definitely turned out really pretty nice. We've got the grill opening cut out. That was all one piece fiberglass. So now we're just getting ready to make the grill insert, which is here. Already got the piece cut out. Just going to draw up some designs on what the customer wants for dimpled holes, and then get that bolted into place. And we also got the radiator mounted. This is just a nice Griffin radiator, easy to mount. Griffin does a great job when it comes to building radiators. They've got already the mounting bungs in place. They also had tabs down here that we ended up taking off, but those tabs are also for mounting. But this just makes it real easy for the customer to pull the radiator out when he wants to pull the motor. All it is held in by 2 quick pins, and radiator will slide right out. So things like that just make life easier when you have to work on these cars. Now next week, hopefully I'll be able to get the trunk lid put on, or the deck lid put on. And that's just gonna be done the same way, basically with Zeus fasteners. And we're gonna get ready to put the transmission in, but I believe he has the transmission sold, so that's kind of on the back burner right now. And then I've got a piece of aluminum here that we're gonna do a full aluminum mid plate. So we've got quite a bit of work yet to do on the car, but it's really coming along, and excited to get it finished up and back to the customer. Now on this car over here, this Willys, we're mounting the motor. He's putting a 392 Hemi in the car, along with an automatic transmission. So in order to do that, we've got to cut the firewall, do some modifications to the front end, along with add motor mounts. I know we also have to make a drive shaft or get a drive shaft ordered for it. So just a few miscellaneous things on this car. I mean, it's going to take a little bit of time, but all in all, it's a really cool car. Glad to have it in the shop, and looking forward to finishing it up and back to the customer. I know the customer is planning to drive it on the street, kind of a street slash drag strip car, but we all know how that turns into. It probably going to turn more into a race car than a street car. Now over here in the far bays, now if a lot of you probably haven't followed my weekly shop updates, and I really haven't posted a lot, but we've done a little bit of rearranging in the shop. You can see on the back wall here, we moved our tubing rack that was originally up in the machine shop to the back wall. Now this makes it really nice and easy for us. We can take the piece of tubing off the rack, The cold saw is right there. Easy to cut the material. Our leftover piece goes right back on the rack. Really keeps the shop organized a little bit more. Before, we would get the tubing off the tubing rack and everything would get kind of set on the floor right there. And then when we were done with the project, we'd put all the tubing back up. So this definitely keeps the shop a little bit more organized, and glad that we got it moved into the back wall here. But with moving that, we also had to move our mill and double-headed drill press, which is what is all moved back here. And we've done quite a bit of rearranging back here also. It's still kind of a mess because I haven't had a chance to get it cleaned up like I want, but it's all work in progress. I think every day we figure out a different way to organize and rearrange things just to make life a little bit easier. Now here's the front engine dragster Jad's been working on. He actually got it pretty much finished up. We're waiting on a fire bottle cable to come in, and that's got shipped out of California. Should be here Monday, so once we get that in, we'll be able to finish it up. But Jad built the fuel tank, mounted the fire bottles, and then did a little bit of repair work on the seat. Basically, we lowered the seat down a little bit. You can see that's a new bucket in the seat, and it just allows the driver to sit a little bit lower. And once we get the fire bottle cable in, everything will be able to be mounted in. You can see the plumbing for the fire bottles is all finished up, and then there's the actuator, and we'll get the cable mounted to the actuator, and like I said, about an hour's worth of time, and should be ready to be picked up. That is the old fuel tank, and the reason we ended up building a new fuel tank for this car is the owner said he may want to go 1/4 mile, and the other tank was just a little too small to run a full 1/4 mile. So just built a little bit bigger tank, which also kind of gives it a little bit of a wedge look and keeps the air off the fire bottles. So really happy with how everything turned out, and looking forward to seeing the car back out on the racetrack. Now this is the 392 Hemi that is going into the Willys. So the customer is going to put a blower, manifold, and injector on it. And so we got to get all those parts here before we can start mounting the motor. Just for the look of what the customer's after, he wants just the injector to come out of the hood. So that means the motor has to get mounted pretty low, and we can't mount the motor without all the parts. So hopefully next week we'll get the manifold, blower, and injector in, and be able to get that put in the car and finished up there. Now over here on this half of the shop, you can see we've got the double-headed drill along with the mill that we got moved from that back wall that was in the main shop. And I just finally got them all wired up this week, and so that's been really nice. Had an electrician come in and take care of all the wiring, and now I'm ready and set to go. So looking forward to using this bay a little bit more. You can see we've been doing a lot of production work. That's just a pile of production parts that basically we were trying to stack them up, and they kept on falling, so they kind of got piled. But we'll get a pallet built and everything put up on the shelf. But definitely a lot of production parts. Over in this bay, our plan is to do mostly production work. So when we get jobs in, it gives a person a place to work. We got the mill, and then you've got a full welding table once we get it cleared off to work with. So it just kind of gives us another open bay, and we'll never probably put a car in this bay because we are always going to keep the forklift, but it just gives us an open bay just to do miscellaneous fab work. Now up on the hoist, we've got a 32 steel body Roadster. Really nice car. Looking forward to getting started on this here probably next few weeks. But basically we're going to mount the body, get the door gaps right, trunk gaps, get everything kind of sitting like it's supposed to. Right now the hood and side panels for the hood are a little bit misaligned, but the hood latches aren't mounted either, so all of that has to be finished up. Door gaps are really not something I do a lot of, but with it being an all steel car and a bare metal car, it makes life a little bit easier to do. So like I said, looking forward to getting this car off the rack and start working on it. Also, a project I've been working on is a little bit of a art piece for another customer. Basically, this is going to be a point of a needle, and you can see the wire buck, and then I've got a piece of aluminum I've started shrinking, and then you can see the other half Let me see if I can get a better view of this. That is the one half of the point. So it's really turning out pretty nice. Like I said, I'm looking forward to finishing this up and getting it to the customer, and then he's working on the remaining piece of the artwork, and hopefully by November or December it'll be in its final location. Can't wait to see it up. Well, that is it for the weekly shop update. Just wanted to share what was going on in the shop. I hope you guys all have a great weekend, and I will talk to you all next week. Bye.